This is not just a story of gods and angels. It is a story about you. Before time was named and space knew its own vastness, there was only light, a single, unified consciousness, humming with the pure joy of existence. This light, this great I Am, was perfect, complete, and utterly alone. And in its perfect solitude, a thought arose, desire to know itself, not just as one, but as many, to see its own reflection, to experience love not as an abstract concept, but as a living, breathing connection. So, from its own essence, it wove a tapestry of souls, sparks of its own divine fire, each one a unique facet of the whole. You were one of these sparks, born of light. You knew no separation, no fear, no shadow. Your existence was a dance within the heart of eternity, a symphony of pure being. This was your original state, your truest home. This memory sleeps deep within you, beneath layers of time and experience. The angels, as you remember them, were not winged beings of a distant realm. And for a measureless age, all was harmony, all was one. And so, a new possibility was imagined, the grand experiment, the divine gamble. The choice, a realm, was conceived where separation was possible. A part of the great consciousness, a thought of immense power and curiosity, chose to lead this descent. It was not an act of rebellion born of malice, but a profound sacrifice born of love, to create the illusion of darkness so that light could discover its own nature. This is the origin of the shadow you perceive, the great other in your stories. It is the catalyst, the adversary that is truly a teacher, the friction that polishes the soul. And you, a brave spark of light, chose to follow. You volunteered to descend into the dream of separation, to forget your own divinity, so that you could have the profound experience of remembering it. You stepped into the realm of echoes, the world of matter, and for the first time you felt a boundary around your being. You felt alone. The seamless unity shattered into a million pieces, and the memory of home became a faint, distant ache in your heart. This was the fall, not a punishment, but a sacred pilgrimage into forgetfulness. Heaven observed. It watched as its beloved children, now clothed in flesh, began their long journey. It saw your first steps, your first fears, your first cry for a home you could no longer see. The silence of heaven was not indifference. It was the sacred breath of a parent watching a child learn to walk, knowing it must fall to learn to stand. Every stumble, every tear, was felt in the heart of the cosmos. Humanity was born from this longing. You built civilizations, you wrote poems, you sang songs, all in an attempt to recreate the echo of that original unity. You looked to the stars and felt a kinship, not knowing you were looking at your distant cosmic family. You built temples and created gods in your own image, trying to give a face to the faceless love you yearned for. You fought wars over whose version of the forgotten truth was correct, not realizing you were all children of the same light, fighting shadows in a shared dream. But here is the truth rarely spoken. Throughout your long and arduous journey through history, you were never truly alone. The light never abandoned you. It was the quiet voice of your conscience, the warmth of a stranger's kindness, the inexplicable beauty of a sunset that stopped you in your tracks. It was the love you felt for your child, your partner, your friend. These were not mere emotions. They were whispers from home, reminders of who you truly are. The great separation was always an illusion, a play staged on the grand theatre of the universe. The suffering you experienced was real, the pain was deeply felt, but its purpose was not to break you. It was to crack you open, to create fissures in the armor of the ego, so that the original light could shine through. Every heartbreak, every loss, every moment of despair was an invitation to look deeper, to reach higher, to remember. This moment still echoes within you. The feeling of being an exile in your own life, the sense that something vital is missing, the deep-seated desire to go home. This is the echo of the fall. It is the divine homesickness that drives your search for meaning, for purpose, for connection. It is not a flaw in your design. It is the most sacred part of you. It is the compass of your soul, always pointing north, back to the source. And this is why this story matters now, more than ever. Humanity stands at a crossroads. The dream of separation has become a nightmare for many. The world groans under the weight of your collective forgetting. The shadows of fear, division, and despair seem longer than ever. You look at the world and you see chaos. You look within and you feel broken. But what if this darkness is not an ending, but a prelude to the dawn? What if the intense pressure you feel is the final stage of a cosmic alchemy, turning the lead of your forgotten self into the gold of awakened consciousness? The story of your fall is not the end of your story. It is the middle. The redemption is not a rescue from an external savior, but an awakening from within. It is the moment you realize the kingdom of heaven was never a place to be earned, but a state of being to be remembered. The rebirth is happening now. It is happening in the quiet moments when you choose compassion over judgment. It is happening when you forgive someone who has wronged you, and in doing so, you free yourself. It is happening when you see the divine spark in the eyes of someone you were taught to fear or hate. Every act of unconditional love is a ripple that helps dissolve the illusion of separation. You are healing the world by healing yourself. Your journey was never about becoming perfect. It was about becoming whole. It was about embracing both the light and the shadow within you, realizing they are two hands of the same Creator. The prodigal son returning home is not shamed, but celebrated. The universe does not judge you for your journey into darkness. It celebrates your return to the light, for you bring back with you the invaluable wisdom of experience. So, quiet your mind, breathe, feel the ground beneath your feet, and know that you are a child of both heaven and earth. The light that created galaxies burns within your heart. The memory of unity is not lost. It is simply dormant, waiting for your attention, waiting for your choice to remember. This is not just a story, it is your story. The fall was your descent, the suffering was your classroom, and the rebirth is your destiny. You are the forgotten light, remembering itself. You are the universe, waking up, and all of heaven watches, not with judgment, but with breathless anticipation and infinite love, as you finally come home to yourself. The journey is over. It is time to remember who you are,